This is 14.2c. It's the third lesson for 14.2. We're constructing arithmetic sequences, and we're also going to find arithmetic means. If you haven't seen the previous 6 videos, you might become frustrated or lost and confused, and they're linked in this description, okay? We can construct an arithmetic sequence if we're given specific terms of the sequence. If we have 2 terms in a sequence, we can find a sub 1 and d, that common difference, and construct the sequence. We use the formula we learned in the previous video, 14.2b. We've been using this a lot, and we're going to continue using this. We substitute the given values into the formula for the first term, do it again for the second given term, then solve the system of equations. All right? So let's do that. The third term of an arithmetic sequence is 8, and the 16th term is 47. Find a sub 1 and d. Construct the sequence. So it gave us the information that a sub 3 is an 8, and a sub 16 is a 47. Using the formula, we know a sub 3 is an 8, so let's put that in as this a sub n. We know it's an 8. And it's going to equal a sub 1, because we don't know what that is. We know the third term is an 8, but we don't know what the first one is. Plus, it's the third term, so we have a 3 here, minus 1 times d. That means we have a 2d, doesn't it? So now we've got our first equation. Okay, 8 equals a sub 1 plus 2d. We use the same formula, but now we're going to use it with the 16th term that equals 47. So we have 47 equals a sub 1 plus, it's the 16th term, so we have 16 minus 1 times d. That means 15d, doesn't it? So now we have this equation and this equation, and we solve the system of equations. We're going to multiply this one by a negative 1 so that we can subtract it. And this makes a 0 pair, doesn't it? It cancels out. Okay? 15 minus 2 gives us a 13d. And then over here we have a 39. So now we know 13d equals 39. We can divide both sides of the equal sign by a 13 and solve for d. We get d equals 3. Well, now we have 8 equals a sub 1 plus 2d. That means 8 equals a sub 1 plus 2 times 3, because d is a 3, isn't it? That means it's plus 6. And if we take this 6 away from both sides of the equal sign, we get 2 is equal to a sub 1. Now we know the first term is a 2. We also know that the common difference is a 3, so we just write it going up by 3. 2, 5, 8, 11, 14. And the general term for this would be a sub n is equal to 2 plus n minus 1 times 3. See? I just slowly did it and solved it as a system of equations. Let's try. The second term of an arithmetic sequence is 11, and the 10th term is 35. Construct the sequence. So we know a sub 2 is 11. We know a sub 10 is a 35. We use our formula, and we plug in the 11 here, and it's going to equal a sub 1 plus, it's the second one, so we have 2 minus 1 times d. We simplify this, and it's just a 1d, isn't it? So 11 equals a sub 1 plus d. So we've got that first equation. Now we do the second one. 35 equals a sub 1 plus 10 minus 1 times d. This is just a 9d, isn't it? So now we have our second equation. All right? We're going to multiply this one by a negative 1 so we can subtract it. We have our a sub 1 plus d, but it's multiplied by 1, so now it's negative. See? And we're going to subtract it from this guy. This makes a 0 pair. It cancels out. And 9d minus a d gives us 8d. 35 minus 11 is a 24. And we can divide both sides of the equal sign by the 8 to solve for d. And 24 divided by 8 is 3. We know the common difference, d, is a 3. So now, if a sub 2 is an 11, okay, that's what we were told, a sub 2 is an 11. Well, we can find a sub 1 because it's just 3 smaller, isn't it? The common difference is 3, so it must be an 8. That means we have 8, 11, 14, 17, 20, 23, 26, 29, 32, and look, a sub 10 is 35. So it worked out. And we've got our general term for this sequence. See? So it worked out. We've got 11 as our second term. We've got 35 as our 10th term. See? Now, an arithmetic mean of two numbers, a and b, is their average. It's a plus b divided by 2. You remember how to find an average. You just add them up, and however many add-ins you use, that's what you divide it by. So we have 2, so we're dividing it by 2. And the numbers a, then a plus b divided by 2, then b, form an arithmetic sequence. And the numbers m sub 1, m sub 2, m sub 3, to m to the sub n here are called arithmetic means between a and b. Okay, so they're in between the a and the b. So if we have a here, then we have m sub 1, m sub 2, m sub 3, and it goes on to m sub n, and then we have b, and that'll make a arithmetic sequence, see? And we can insert 3 arithmetic means between 8 and 16. So if we let a equal a sub 1, that's our first term in our sequence, and 16 is going to be a sub 5, okay? How do I know that it's a sub 5? Well, if we're inserting 3 numbers in between them, and that's the first one, then we've got second, third, fourth. That would make that one the 5th one, see? We use that same formula, and we've got 16 is equal to 8. There's our a sub 1, see? Plus, this is the 5th one, so it's got a 5 minus 1 times d. We can simplify this to 8 plus 4d. We can get rid of the 8 by subtracting it from both sides of the equal sign. It gives us an 8 equals 4d. We divide both sides by the 4, and it simplifies to 2d. So, if 8 is our first term, and our common difference is 2, then we're going to say 10, 12, 14, and then we'll get to a sub 5, which is a 16. See? Let's try it again. We can insert 2 arithmetic means between 3 and 24. We're going to let 3 be a sub 1, and because there's 2 numbers between them, 24 must be a sub 4. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We use the same formula. 24 is a sub 4, so we got the 24 here and the 4 here. See? We've got our 3 as a sub 1. 4 minus 1 is 3, so we've got it simplified to this, and to get rid of this 3, because we want to solve for d, we subtract 3 from both sides. We get a 21 equals 3d. We divide both sides by the 3. We get 7 equals d. 7's the common difference. So if 3 is the first one, and the difference is 7, we know the next one's 10, the next one's 17, the next one's 24. And it worked out because those are the numbers we needed. We needed 3 to be the first one and 24 to be the 4th one, didn't we? Okay, for those of you who need it, we're going to try it one last time with 3. We can insert 3 arithmetic means between 10 and 34. So we're going to let 10 be a sub 1. That means we have 3 between it, so that's a sub 2, a sub 3, a sub 4. So the 34 must be a sub 5. I'm going to use our formula. We have our a sub 5. That's going to be 34 here. Here's our a sub 1 as the 10. And because that's a 5, the 5 is going to go there, minus 1 times d. That's going to be a 4d, isn't it? And we can get rid of the 10. We're trying to solve for d, so we subtract 10 from both sides. So you can say we're adding a negative 10 to both sides. We're going to get a 24 equals 4d. Divide both sides of the equal sign by the 4 to simplify and solve for d. We get 6 equals d. So we know the first term is a 10, and we know the difference is 6. So we have 10, 16, 22, 28, 34. See? Let me back up a little bit so you can take a look at the 2 of those. All right? So you know which one it's going to be, a sub 4 or a sub 5, depending on how many it's telling you are being inserted in between it. So if you know that that's the first one, then you know that that one must be the 4th one. And if you're putting 3 between it, that one must be the 5th one, see? All right? Our next lesson is Arithmetic Series, lesson 14.2D, and we're going to continue in this lesson of 14.2. We're going to be finding partial sums for these, okay? And if you were able to understand this and it helped you, hit the like button. And I will see you in the next video. And have a great day. Bye.